Hi, welcome to video number 3. In this video, we'll talk about common health complaints and some of our favorite herbs to have in a home apothecary. We'll also address personal health needs and the importance of using high-quality herbs. An essential apothecary usually deals with common health issues, each of which can be helped by using different herbs. For instance, if you're talking about digestive support, that could mean heartburn, nausea, or intestinal cramps, and most of the time we'd use different herbs for each of those. This can be true for any body system or health issue. So what are some of our common health issues? We put together a general list here, but you may have a different list depending on your own health needs. Pain and inflammation, digestive support, immune and cold and flu, general wellness support, first aid remedies, herbs for stress and mood, insomnia, and skin care. That can include things like acne, eczema, or even skin injuries. Think about the ways you or your family require care. For example, if someone suffers from migraines, that would be a very specific kind of pain remedy. Another example would be immune herbs. You would use different herbs for seasonal allergies than you would for the flu. It might be a good idea to look in your medicine cabinet and see what you're already using.
Here are some of the herbs we have found useful to have on hand. We're going to list a few uses for each plant. Keep in mind that there are many more. It's not uncommon for us to spend up to an hour talking about a single plant in our courses. Echinacea angustifolia. This is a very popular herb that in my opinion is one of the most misunderstood remedies, especially when it comes to marketing. It's touted for being good for colds and flu, but there's not so much information about when and how to use it. I recommend using it for prevention after exposure to an illness or at the onset of a cold. After you're already sick, echinacea has more limited value. Echinacea is anti-inflammatory to tissues under repair. The root is generally used, and I find a tincture more convenient and slightly more potent than the tea. Echinacea can help with bites and stings and is antibacterial, especially this species, Echinacea angustifolia, which I prefer to the other species. Echinacea is under pressure in the wild, so please use organically cultivated sources or grow it yourself. Wild yam. Wild yam is on the United Plant Savers at-risk list, so please source this plant organically cultivated or grow it yourself. It is a potent, smooth muscle antispasmodic, useful in digestive, urinary, and reproductive complaints. It can help with pain, cramps, and spasm from PMS, as well as irritable bowel syndrome and other intestinal cramping. It's useful if you're suffering from a kidney stone for the associated cramping. Lemon balm. This sweet herb provides gentle stress relief without sedation for most folks. While it's calming to the nervous system, it's also a mild mood elevator. It can help with mild blues or anxiety, and it is an aromatic, pleasant, delicious tea. Arnica. Arnica is useful for pain, swelling, and bruising. It supports tissue after injury. Arnica can sometimes also help with neuromuscular pain like sciatica. Externally, we like to use the liniment, oil, or salve. And internally, the homeopathic pellets are great. Nettles. Some people call this a desert island herb because it's so useful in so many ways. The spring harvested leaf is very nutritive, almost a superfood, especially as a tea or a vinegar. The spring harvested leaf can also help with seasonal allergies. My favorite are the freeze-dried capsules. The unripe seed of nettles can provide kidney and adrenal support. And finally, the root is useful in benign prostate enlargement. ELAINE has a few suggestions that are near and dear to her, so let's hear from her next.
Holy basil. Some adaptogens are hard to grow or rare, so I chose holy basil because it's one of our easiest to grow adaptogens. But you might want to choose the one that's best for you, as they each have their nuances. Holy basil and other adaptogens help the body to adapt to stress. I think almost everyone could use a little help with that these days. A few of our adaptogens are also great immune supports, including holy basil. Plantain. Plantain is a common garden weed. It's very easy to find or grow. It's astringent, which means it helps pull tissues together, and drawing, making it great for things like splinters. Plantain is also soothing, both internally and externally. It's uncommon to find both astringent and soothing properties together in one plant. Plantain is good for wound regeneration and healing. This can be topically for the skin or internally for soothing and healing the digestive, urinary, and respiratory systems. Garlic. Garlic is a wonderful herb that almost everyone has access to by simply going to the grocery store. It's antimicrobial, meaning it's antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. This makes it a wonderful remedy for many infections and illnesses, including cold or flu. It's also a great support for the cardiovascular system. I recommend just crushing a raw clove and putting it on food. I think it's too irritating for the digestive system to eat without food. Chamomile. Chamomile is a gentle and effective relaxing nervine. This means it's calming and soothing to the nervous system. I think nervines are the quirkiest herbs. One can react really well with a nervine, and someone else might have a paradoxical or opposite reaction. So I recommend trying them out first before using them in large doses. Chamomile is also antispasmodic and anti-inflammatory. It's carminative, meaning it can settle the tummy. The flower can deteriorate rather quickly, so make sure you have a good quality herb. For example, chamomile tea bags from the grocery store can be quite weak. A high-quality fresh flower tincture can be useful for a peaceful night's sleep. Calendula. Calendula has been one of my all-time favorite herbs for many years. It's really good for healing the skin and digestive system. You can use a tea, a tincture, or just eat the flower petals. I also really love it as an oil or salve. It's a gentle support for the lymph and mildly antifungal. It's really easy to grow and it'll self-seed in the garden. And calendula is very safe. Some other items I find really useful for my home medicine kit include the following. Lavender essential oil is my favorite, and I think the most useful all-around essential oil. Used topically, it's good for burns, infections, pain, cramping, healing the skin, and insomnia, just to name a few. Bentonite clay is great for drawing out splinters, infections, and even venom from bug bites. It makes a great general-purpose poultice. Skin healing salve. I always have a salve that's helpful for healing skin injuries or irritations in my medicine kit. Plantain, chamomile, or calendula salves are all good options. And the Bach flower formula rescue remedy, also called 5-flower formula. This flower essence blend, developed by Edward Bach, is wonderful as a first aid remedy for panic, trauma, and emotional upset. You can add a drop to water, or just put a drop in your mouth or even on your skin. Now John will talk about why the quality of herbs is so important.
Lastly, let's discuss the quality of the herbs we use. In our courses, we practice organolepsis, which is the use of your senses to perceive the quality, vibrancy, and identity of the plant. Seasoned cooks do this all the time when choosing ingredients. As you gain experience, you'll become familiar with the aroma, color, and taste of a quality herb. We use organoleptics a lot in our classes. Now let's look at an example of quality. Believe it or not, this is the same plant, Calendula officinalis. And although an extreme example, I have seen herbs that look kind of like this in certain herb stores or natural foods markets. And if you see this, just walk away, because there is little aroma. It looks like straw, and it feels kind of like straw. Whereas this one smells very good, and of course it looks vibrant. And it's just a tad sticky too, because calendula has some resins. So this is an example of why it's good to get familiar with the quality of an herb and always choose this. It's much harder to evaluate herbs that have been powdered. Think about the calendula examples we just looked at. How would you be able to discern vibrancy and quality, much less identity? Obviously, the quality of the herbs ingredients used will greatly enhance the effectiveness of the remedy. Along with high-quality ingredients, think about your mood and your time. Sometimes it's good to slow down and lovingly prepare a remedy as you might a special meal. You'll get a resource list of some of our favorite suppliers in video number 5.
In this video, we discussed what you might want to stock in a home apothecary. We also talked about personal health needs and the importance of using high-quality herbs. In the next video, get ready to make an herbal oxymel with us. Don't forget to gather your supplies and ingredients. See you in lesson number 4.